Surely the presence of joy is in this place. I can feel its mighty power in its grace. There's a holy hush within us, I see glory in each face. Surely the presence of joy is in this place. Surely the presence of peace is in this place. I can feel its loving power and its grace. There's a holy truth within us that forever it can replace. Surely the presence of peace is in this place. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel its tender power and its grace. There's a holy glow within us that nothing can erase. Surely the presence of love is in this place.
The joy and the peace and the love that we just sang about that's here inside each of us. I wonder how much of that we allow to flow through us as we think about things, as we talk about things, and as we do action in our day. It's pretty easy to cover those great gifts and great powers up with worry and anxiety and temper and all the other things that chaos brings in our day-to-day lives. But maybe we could find a little bit of time every day to just remember that joy and peace and love we have in abundance, an infinite supply. And we'll keep having that infinite supply if we let it flow through us and be part of our thoughts and be part of our actions and our words. Just something to ponder, and so it is.
The Buddha is said to have said, in life there is suffering. I was corrected this morning by Natalie. I thought it was all that life is suffering, but that's one translation. Another translation I had is, all this is suffering. But in life there is suffering. I like better. And then there's three more statements about fix that, if it's fixable. But I get challenged by how much of the suffering is self-inflicted. In the song that we're going to sing soon, how could anyone ever tell you? I just flashed on me that how could anyone ever tell you, especially yourself, could tell you how beautiful, how wonderful, anything less than that. Most of that telling comes from myself. And a similar thing for me happens with suffering. If something bad happens, I can let it wash through me and go out, or I can take it in and start to churn. If I cut my finger, I can say, oh, cut my finger, go get a bandage. Or I could say, oh, I have cut my finger. Somebody help me. How is this going to happen? How am I going to be healed? And I do that a lot with everything. if somebody cuts me off on the freeway, oh, okay. I have actually gotten better at saying, I've cut people off before. I've been in a hurry. I've done rude things before. Vaya con Dios. Go, my friend. Or I can say, well, you fill in the blank. Which I've gotten better at that. Of when people are not being so, it's like, give them a break. And I need to give that break also to myself. Give myself a break. Give myself the love. Give myself the peace. Give myself the joy. And it's interesting that it's easier when there are others around me that I just simply interact with and allow that to flourish more easily. So my challenge is, I want to bring that home to when I'm on my own and with my own thoughts. How can I bring that home to my heart, my soul, and my spirit? Thank you.
David, thank you. What a great pep talk. We kick our own bottoms worse than anybody else, do we not? Thank you. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Got a lot of announcements today. Let's start with our normal Monday evening healing circle. Will be the 11th and the 25th of November, the second and fourth Mondays. This Friday will be our Ring Out Danger at 9:35. Joy put the sign up this morning. We are telling the whole town, so be here at 9:30 and ring the bell. Today is potluck, and we're all set up next door, so enjoy. Something else was going. Oh, Thursday morning, ladies, spiritual book study. Did I say that right? LSBS? Yeah, okay. Just trying to make it easy on myself. That will be this Thursday at 9:45 in the hall. Now there's some other things. Natalie reminded me to tell everybody next Saturday night, set your clocks back 1 hour so you aren't here an hour early. And it just, Pam Bourne used to be, bless her heart. She was always an hour early in the fall and always showed up 10 minutes after church was over in the spring. She just couldn't get that setting the clock thing right on the right weekend. So another thing that has occurred, yesterday we had a really nice cabaret. There weren't a whole lot of people, but the Bluebirds were there. It was great. But somehow during the Bluebirds performance, the bulletin board that hangs right here with the flower calendar on it, that has history. In 1987, I moved a printing company in Napa, and they were going to throw that in the trash. I said, well, that's a handy little thing. They've had it for 20, 30 years. So I brought it here and put it in my garage, and then in about 2001, we hung it on the wall over here. So it's due to be replaced, and if anybody would like to take that project on this week, that would be amazing. It would be greatly appreciated. And we will have the crypt for the present one that came apart will be that big green metal can in the back. I've got a lot of things written down here. As most of you know, Barbara Colohan passed away on, I think, like the 13th or 14th. Our band was scheduled to play her 90th birthday party like on the 12th or 11th or 12th that weekend. She canceled that in like March. She said, I don't think I'm going to be able to enjoy having a dance. So over at Rancho Grande, Denise, I think is her name, She is scheduling a celebration of life on the 17th of November. I'm not sure of the time. I'll keep letting everybody know and how to make a reservation or let them know you're coming so they got enough food and whatever. Our band is going to play Barbara's dance party following the sharing part of the program. So that'll be a cool thing. So I'll let you know more as I know more. I just told her we could do that, and it's set up for the 17th sometime like 2, 3 o'clock, 1 o'clock. And you'll get more information as the days get closer when they know. I think that's all the announcements I have. Does anybody else have anything that would like to be announced? There's a couple things I want to do yet. Emma and Sarah, would you consider coming up front and have a little chat with me? They made these steps lower. Somebody did that. Well, hello, ladies. How are you? You can sit down if you want to. So there is something very special going to happen this week, isn't it? Have you got your costumes picked out? What are you going to be? A skeleton. Oh, what?
A skeleton.
A skeleton? What about you, Em? An angel? That's a great combination. So, anyway, so when night are you going out trick or treat? Maybe Thursday? 31st? Okay. Well, that's good. Or if you get a lot of candy, like maybe you'll get too much candy with candy, no? I'm not gonna be able to go trick or treating this year, just so you know. If you have too much, you could share. I don't know. Anyway, well, hope you have a really good time. They came over to see the lambs and they named the lambs Sam and Cuddles, right? Yeah. And so they fed them and they're keeping track of those lambs and making sure they're doing good. So, well, thank you for being here, and we will see you. Have a good time on Halloween. That's how I get my exercise. Are there any people who can share the names of people who can use some light and some love this morning? Kelly?
Gail.
Gail? Anyone else?
Norm.
Norm?
Terry.
Terry? Roy?
Annie.
Annie? Okay, let's hold those names in conscience. Yes?
And Anita.
Anita.
And Debbie.
And Debbie. All right. These are all human beings in this same energy matrix that all of us are in. We're all connected. And our prayer, our energy, our light reaches them faster than time. In the dimension of spirit, there is no time, there is no distance. It all simply is. Let's hold these human beings in special trust in our hearts and our minds and share with them our love and our life. Ron?
One other person is Ray.
Ray? Okay. And how about Ron too?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Let's hold these human beings, a part of us, share with them our energy and our life. And And so it is. Thank you. Well, one other thank you. Michael, it's good to have you here today, and your prelude was just wonderful, just very, very nice.
Thank you, sir.
So,
Thank you.
let's stand and sing the song David was talking about. I think it's number 14 in the song. Well, how could anybody ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful and wonderful?
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than home? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell me I was anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell me I was less than home? How could anyone fail to notice that my love for you is a miracle? How deeply I'm connected to your soul.
And now we have the wonderful opportunity to greet each other in the traditional Church of the Oaks fashion.
Yeah, I played that according to the book this time. The sheet is different, so I'm trying to follow this one.
Oh, it's a constant challenge, my friend, a constant challenge. That's what happens when amateurs prepare the books and the music and the stuff. It doesn't always match.
Best music appreciation from this one is when I play out other places, this kind of mixed, you know. Sometimes it's right on and the other people come up and say, man, that's right.
I did that just to see if you were paying attention. I'm glad you were listening. How about a big breathe in, just let it out. And just think about how good you feel right now. Despite all the aches and the pains and the little owies, how good do you feel inside right now? You're here with the family. You're in touch with spirit. You're in touch with our community. It's such an abundance for all of us to have each other, to have access to this. Greg Braden calls it the divine matrix. We're part of it. We're just as much a part of the matrix of the divine as the trees out front, or the ocean, or the mountains, or the people walking down the street in downtown Santa Monica. We're all in this together. And when we are aware that we have that honor and privilege, I think it makes, you can't help but have that feeling enrich your life experiences. I believe that with everything in me. So let's read together our affirmation of abundance, may we? Part of the abundance that the universe shares is the never-ceasing changes of our life experiences and conditions, as demonstrated by the changing of our seasons. May we ponder that wisdom, Maestro. Thank you, Michael. I just mentioned something, but I want to mention it again as part of our abundance. All of the preludes, all of the pondering music after our meditation and after he uses no music. He just closes his eyes and plays. I think that is just so amazing. Thank you for sharing your gift. Truly. Thank you so much. Let's prepare ourselves for our practice this morning by singing Be Still and Know That I Am God, number 69 in the wings.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still, be still, be still and know that I am God.
Good morning. So I was in a yoga class last week and I heard something interesting from the teacher. She was sharing that humming is actually a very valuable practice for activating the part of our nervous system that brings calm and centeredness. And that's one reason why we chant Om in yoga, but it's also beneficial just to hum your favorite song or hum a little bit when you know you need that grounding, and it has the added benefit of bringing us into cohesion as a group. So I'm going to suggest first that we begin by just humming with the tone that comes naturally to your voice. We don't have to worry about all being on the same note. That's not the purpose here. The purpose is just to tune in as a group to our own kind of heart space, that part of our nervous system that can find the calm in the storm, and take this with us into this season where there's really a lot going on, both personally and collectively. So let's just take a moment and center ourselves. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, you can simply go And let's do that 2 more times. Just deep inhale. And again. Just let that vibration continue to echo through your mind and your body, knowing that this is a practice that you can do anytime, always there for you. Helps to clear out what we no longer need and just bring us into the present moment. We're just going to receive some of that pure divine light now. That's like a prism, and the color that we receive will represent exactly what it is we need right now. I know I need some strength as I look ahead at the coming weeks. The ability to simply stay centered no matter what's going on outside of me. So I'm going to call that in now. You can just know what that is for you and call it in as a waterfall of light pouring down over your head, gently helping you release what's no longer needed. And then filling that space with what it is you most need right now. If it's easier, you can just visualize a golden light that resonates with that high heart and carries whatever you might need with it. Just a couple more breaths here. As we enter the season of Suwim, or what sometimes is written as Samhain, as we enter the season of diminishing light, moving towards the winter solstice, may you remember that you are that light. Namaste.
Natalie, thank you. What did I write down there? It's everywhere. What do you think I'm talking about when I say it's everywhere?
Stress.
Stress. Whatever you are looking for. Whatever you're looking for, it's everywhere. You have to choose what you're looking for. I was having a discussion with Janet yesterday morning and said, well, I picked up the music, but I just don't know what to talk about tomorrow. I'm just kind of blocked. She said, well, talk about how beautiful things are this time of year, the beauty of life itself. And I thought, wow, it is. It's everywhere you look. if that's what you're looking for. You can look for other things to see how to get into the scrap of the election. You can talk about the traffic problems at commute time. Santa Rosa's getting as congested as San Francisco. Or you can look at something else. Wayne and I went down to Koch. Oh, I forget what day. Thursday, maybe. And Thursday afternoon. And to take a check for $300 from our fundraiser we had last Saturday for the It Can't Happen Here. And we went down and we were given a tour of their new recuperative care facility. The first time I went on that tour was about 5 years ago when we first started talking to COTS about using our little house as a transitional housing. And back in that time, they had one room about half the size of the main part of this room, just a room like that. And there were 4 beds in it, and a couple filing cabinets and some shelves and some blankets and stuff in the corner, and one little locking cabinet for drugs, and that was their clinic. 4 beds in a little room. A year and a half later, they went upstairs and they got a bigger room, and then they now had 6 beds. 3 months ago, they decided to recreate a whole wing of upstairs, and they now have like 5 rooms or 6 rooms. They have a total of 20 beds. They have one room that is actually going to be their hospice room. It's amazing what they are doing. And there's so much junk going all the time, if that's what you're looking for. But Wayne and I spent an hour and a half there looking at all the things that COTS does. They've got 25 tiny houses out on the perimeter of their parking lot. They find housing, rental rooms, rental apartments for homeless people every single week. They've got, I think, 12 or 15 properties like ours, individual houses or apartments that they rent from private owners. They took over the old Motel 6 down by the 101 Casino, just off of Petaluma Boulevard, right on 101. There's 64 efficiency apartments now for homeless people. Their kitchen, Mary's kitchen, Mary's table, I think is what it's called. They serve 2 meals a day, no questions asked. You're hungry, go in, eat whatever you want to eat. That's been going on for, I don't know, 30 years. Bill Isaac's mom started it. And it's amazing what those people are doing. The good work they are doing, what they're bringing to society. Janet and I were also talking yesterday morning about Thanksgiving. She went down and volunteered at the fairgrounds with Redwood Gospel Mission. They feed like 5,000 people Thanksgiving dinner, and they send another 2,000 or 3,000 dinners out in mobile delivery services. They have people cutting the hair, washing feet, doing nails, fingernails, pedicures, and manicures. And they've been doing it for years. You want to feel some good feelings and see some beauty in this world, volunteer for that. They can always use help. Do you see anything ugly about that experience, Janet?
No, it was exciting.
It was exciting. It was something like no other kind of experience you can have. The living room. They house women and kids that have distress in their lives. There are so many places going on. There's a church, it's a Bulgarian Orthodox church. I've taken my guitar and played at their festivals for years and years. They run a bookstore just north of 7th, between 7th and 9th, right in there by the Unity Church. And it's called Not of This World Bookstore. And they have a bookstore that has free or almost free books for mostly very, very poor or homeless people. Several years ago, I was going through the back shelves and I found like 150 Pew Bibles, all used, notes written. And I took them down and gave them to the Not of This World bookstore. He said, oh my God, we could give those to homeless people and maybe they can get something of hope from the scriptures. It doesn't make any difference what your personal beliefs are, what religion you go to, how you vote. It doesn't make any difference. What makes a difference is how we treat our fellow man and woman and undecided. That's the beauty of this life experience, like Dave was talking about. There is beauty everywhere in this world. You can I took a ride with Yvonne on Thursday. We went out to Bodega and back. But it was gorgeous, not a cloud in the sky. The beauty was just remarkable. I'm going to read a couple of quotes, but it's just, everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. Our buddy Confucius said that. Another one is, what would happen if we gave every day a chance to be the best day of our life? Just time to think about what if you woke up and said, this could be the best day of my life. And embrace that feeling, embrace that energy. Open the doors of opportunity, open the windows. See what beauty comes in your life. Instead of starting the day with negative, oh, I gotta go there and I gotta go, and God, I hate that drive down there. We all do that. %10 of life just happens to us. 90% of life is how we respond and react to that. It's our choice. Everywhere you look, I think about the people that I come in contact with. We're trying to set a partnership between COTS and their recuperative care facility and the Food for Thought nonprofit that we tied to a while back that prepares, it's like Meals on Wheels, only it's health prescription kind of meals that are by special dietary requirements. And they're also trying to set up, they want to talk to our 12-step groups, that these people in recuperative care that have nothing, no home, no place to go, they could use some mentoring. And sometimes a lot of people in the 12-step program know what it's like to be out on your butt with nothing. And that there is life after being homeless. There is life after being busted. There is life after having operations. All you need is a little encouragement. That's the secret of the 12-step program, is the sponsorship, the fellowship. Is that not correct? That's why it works. Because you all hold hands and stick together and get through this mess. And you can get through it. Yeah. So we're going to try to set up some of our 12-step sponsors to go down maybe once a week or once a month and mentor people that are going through this really difficult process of recuperation. There are so many. I would guess in all the nonprofits that I have looked at and volunteered with and helped out and passed on to other people, probably 10,000 citizens in Sonoma County make special intention to volunteer and help to make life in this county better. Becca, you were in human services, county services. You know how many people, you got a better handle on it maybe than I do, of how many people give effort and work at making Sonoma County, life in Sonoma County, a little better, a little more beautiful than it was. And when those people are doing that, I don't know of anything that creates, that signifies or is indicative of love and compassion more than that. I don't think there's anything could be called more beautiful than helping other human beings. I just don't think there is. We can do some self-centered things, you know, fall in love, or that's fine. That's part of life too. But when we can step out of our comfort zone, and drive out to the fairgrounds, and bus tables are served 5,000 people that don't have a Thanksgiving dinner. That's beauty in its divine state. I'm going to we have for years focused on creating community here. And I've had several conversations lately with people very interested in expanding this community. How do we get connected? And I've got some suggestions for our congregation, for our board, for 18 years, I think, maybe longer than that. Church of the Oaks had a representative on the board of the Chamber of Commerce. Now, this particular Chamber of Commerce isn't kind of like your normal capitalistic, business-oriented chamber. It, in my estimation, outside of maybe Church of the Oaks, is the finest community building organization in Cotati. And when you get in that, when you become part of that active chamber, you meet people. You meet the business owners downtown, the people you can call when you need some bucks to have an event, or when somebody's having a problem and had a heart attack or something, needs a few bucks. The business community is a good place to go. They're very generous in this little town. You have all of that's how our pancake breakfast started. Kids Day was working with the chamber. That's how meeting people in our community. And I would like to see our family have a representative on the board of the chamber. It just connects us with what's going on in this town. And it's not proselytizing. It's just being part of this community in a very active way. And I was on the board for years. Yvonne was on the board. She was their treasurer for a long time. Wayne was on the board. It just, we can have that connection to the vibrance of our community. We could know all about, we're thinking about having a table at the farmers markets and different activities, different events downtown. We'd know more about that if we were part of the chamber. And we would give us amazing opportunities to interact with our community, to enrich the life experience in our community. That's what our goal is. That's what our purpose for being is to elevate consciousness, expand awareness, and enrich life. And in so doing, in doing all of those things, there is beauty that exists. You can't deny it. And it's just like Just like when you're feeling gratitude, you can't feel anything but gratitude. You can't be angry. You can't be sad. When you're serving your fellow human beings, you can't be anything but in awe. You can't feel anything but good. Look around. What are you looking for? You're looking for the junk? There's an infinite supply of it. Human beings are good at creating that. Chaos, anger, hatred, fear. But if you're looking for beauty, it goes on every day throughout our community. Really good stuff. And all of the organizations, all the nonprofits, I think there's over 1,000 nonprofits in Sonoma. All of them would welcome your participation. I guarantee you there's at least 3 nonprofits in this county, in driving distance, that you could volunteer at that are specifically something that you enjoy doing or that you have value in. We're coming up for Thanksgiving, a time to be thankful. But it's also a time to remind ourselves to share our abundance. And sometimes the best we got at this moment might be a hug or a smile. And there's times I know there are people in this room who really didn't have a smile or a hug at a given point in time. But when they came in here, they got one. They got several. That's what family does. And when you interact, when you share whatever it is you can share, your time, your talent, your thought, your treasure, your love, your compassion, your forgiveness, your acceptance, whatever it is, that, my dear friends, is beauty. And it's everywhere. All you have to do is choose to see it, to choose to look for it. I had a conversation last night at the cabaret. Some of you know her. Her name is Nancy Jensen. She plays keyboard. She has a great band. She has like a 12-piece band. And she has sat in with Take Your Medicine a few times. It took a long time. And we've just been friends for, I don't know, 6, 8, 9 years, I don't know. And she came last night, and I hadn't seen her in like 6 or 8 months. And we were talking, and she said, time sure flies. I said, yeah. I said, you know, I've got a pretty good memory. We have started a little tradition over the last 4 or 5 years. About twice a year, one of us takes the other to lunch out at the Washoe House. We've been doing that for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. I said, well, back in February or March, I seem to remember a call from Nancy Jensen said it was her turn and she was going to invite me to lunch at the Washoe House. And I'm still waiting for that call. And she said, wow, time does fly. And I said, yes, Nancy, but remember, time does fly, but you are the pilot. You have the choice. You can look for the crap, you can look for the beauty. Time flies, but you're the pilot. You can run your life. You can choose your thoughts. You can choose your words, and you can choose your actions. So what are they going to be? You look around this world and you're looking for the beauty. There are disasters and violence and stuff. And in the wake of those horrible things that exist within our global society, what do you see? You see people taking people into their homes. You see people feeding people that don't have any food. You see people carrying folks to the hospitals where there's not an ambulance. You see the beauty of love. And all of us can and should be probably driving our own bus, creating our own minds, choosing what we look at, choosing what we think, and choosing what we do. And I'm going to shut up now. Let's sing about this wonderful world that we live in and the opportunities that are everywhere we look. We just have to look.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people nearby. I see friends shaking hands, saying how do you do? They're only saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we will ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Amen, shall we? One thought to ponder as we leave. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could all be the person that our dogs and cats think we are? Something to think about. Thank you so much.
Crazy guy. What's he doing with those hands? Thank you so much. There we go. Music just calls me. That does my style. You know, they do what they want sometimes. See, I don't even know where they're going. These guys are getting me in trouble. Thanks for the beautiful time.
Bonnie's a fling babe.